Past 10 a.m. New Zealand Standard Time and 23.4 degrees. We're all looking pretty good, actually. I think we're going to get quite higher than that, but the weatherman's prediction is 24 degrees, so we're still yet to meet that one. It is Tuesday, 31st of March, last day of the month. So I tell you what, we better do this. That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and this morning really elated because we've been trying to get this one done, well, for a number of years, to be very honest with you, and now we're going to do it. C.J Garton is in the house, and we're going to start it off with a bit of Chain Gang. You're right here at Galaxy. Good morning. So that gives us a few minutes.
Yeah, no worries at all.
I'm still filming.
You're still filming?
Yeah.
Nice.
So you behave yourself.
No, I never behave myself. It's just the levels of compliance that I have to undertake.
And you guys have video recording of this that you'll be able to share, and I can share with it afterwards as well.
You'll get a copy of this. It'll be on YouTube within seconds of finishing the interview.
I love it. I love it. My social media team will love it too. They're happy to always get extra stuff.
Nice. But hang in there, because after we finish this interview, Barbara likes to take a few pickies. She'll put it together in a movie and send that to you as well, okay?
And we'll talk about the magazine.
That sounds great.
Nice. And I want to talk to you about promoting you a little bit more than what we can here in various ways. If you follow through with me, believe me, I think you'll be very impressed by the end of this, okay?
Absolutely.
Nice. And I'm loving the hat too, by the way.
Oh, thank you, my man. I appreciate that. Texas Oilers.
Right.
You know, Houston. They became the Titans, but I still wear the old school colors.
Yeah, believe me, I recognize the old school. I really do.
Yeah, I'm old school all day.
Nice.
You can threaten me at a good time.
Nice. Well, it sounds like we're pretty much the same.
Absolutely. I can't wait to get back over across the pond and maybe hit a spot or two in New Zealand, do some shows.
Yeah, well, I've got something else in mind.
Absolutely.
I really do. And I'll talk to you about that once we finish this up as well. So please don't go anywhere once we wrap this up, because believe me, I think you'll be very impressed. I really do.
Absolutely. I'm here, and I was actually just putting together my last few records. I have some double vinyl records that we sold out of, and there was a box of them that was left in our tour bus that had not gotten assembled, and so I had 44 or 45 records that were still available. I did not realize.
Yeah. Oh, well, you're going to have to send me a couple. I love them.
I will.
Vinyl. I love vinyl. I really do. Anyway, we have about a minute and a half to go. How's those two looking up there? They're looking okay. They're smiling at us. Boys in the sound room.
I like it. Looks like it's a nice day there today. Nice and warm.
I'm sorry?
Nice.
I said it looks like a nice day today there.
It's starting to get there. 27 degrees, you see?
Yeah.
65 Fahrenheit.
It's going to go up higher.
Yeah.
The on-air producer's going to win this one. That's right. You're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and I've got to welcome along everybody on all the medias this morning. Nice to have you guys on board. It really, really is. If you're a first-time viewer, tell you what, why not do this? Why not sub, thumb, bell? Bingo. Bell notifications when we have important people, much like C.J Garton this morning. Believe me, you're going to love this. Sub, well, why not subscribe? It's pretty easy, it really is. And you know the thummy thing, get epileptic with it. Really, like us a lot. Today we're talking to C.J Garton, and we opened up the show with Chain Gang. And believe me, I'm absolutely fascinated. We've been playing C.J for a while now, and well, we've only just managed to be able to hook up again. Got to give a big shout out to Caden as well. He promoter extraordinary. He does such a good job. Him and his team. Well done. CJ, welcome to Galaxy.
Hey, I'm glad to be here. Howdy, everybody. And I would say, I'm a day behind, from you guys. It's the 30th here, I think.
Yes, it is. And yes, we're the first to see the light of day in the world every morning.
I know, and so you're always ahead of schedule for me.
Yeah, you're talking to the future.
Exactly. It looks good. It looks good.
Yeah, it does. At least you know there's another one coming around, right?
Absolutely. You can threaten me a good time. I dare you.
I'm loving this. I really, really am. Chain Gang. We opened up the show with Chain Gang. We've been playing it for, a minute now, to be very honest with you. Tell me a little bit about this track.
Well, I got two tracks. I got one called Chain Gang, then I got one called Ain't No Good Chain Gang. I guess then you're talking about my original Chain Gang from back on our record from 2000, and I believe that was 2013. That was one of our first records when we signed our first deal, and I wanted to make this song kind of have some edge and have some kind of Oh Brother Where Art Thou feel to it, in the storyline. And so it was funny because I was getting ready to go into a record label meeting, and I was having lunch with my manager at the time, and I wrote that song. It's sitting there at lunch, and he's like, "What are you doing? Are you writing again?" I said, "Yeah, I am." He goes, well, how's it go? And I kind of told it to him as we was leaving the thing. He's, "Man, you got to sing that in the record label meeting today." He's like, "That's amazing." I said, "Well, okay, cool." So we sat down, I sang it, and they're like, "Yeah, that's going on the record. That's going on the record." So we put it on the record, and I was really excited about it because I grew up in the backwoods, Oklahoma, us cowboys and outlaws, and, I always tell everybody I'm half cowboy and half Indian, so I just get drunk and shoot at myself. But it's one of those situations where we always kind of handle our own situations, and we always kind of keep everything internal and stuff like that. And so, growing up that way, I thought, imagine a guy who, fell in love and had his heart broke, and he wasn't a bad guy. He just ended up maybe with a bad woman, but he went to prison and found himself in a situation where, he learned to be an outlaw a little bit better, a little more clever, learned how to be a bit of a criminal in while he was in. So when he got out, he resolved the situation that had been, weighing on his heart, and left it to the Gators to finish off.
Totally understand. I really do. I don't know that taking advice from people in the same situation, like in jail, is a good deal, though. You never know, because they got caught too, didn't they? So, think about this. You got to think about this in a logic term. But having said that, my friend, it is such a pleasure to be able to play your music. We have been playing that one since 2018.
Wow, that's amazing. You guys are phenomenal. I love y'all so much for that, too. That means the world to me.
Literally, we have been a big fan and following your music for, a number of years now, to be very, very honest with you. And we jumped at the chance to be able to get you up for an interview now, literally, because we absolutely love your work. We just haven't had the option to be able to do so in the past, if you know what I mean. So very, very happy to have you on board. Having said that, one of my favourite tracks of yours from back in the day, and I think 2019, is when we started playing If the Devil Bought You Roses.
Yeah.
Tell me about this track. I love this track.
Oh man, thank you so much. It's such an honor. Tony Stampley's a buddy of mine, and Tony and the guys wrote this song. And I don't really cut songs outside of my work because I'm such a prolific writer. But the first time I heard that track, he came in with 10 or 12 songs and on a disc, and we listened to some stuff, and that song really stood out to me. And I made some changes and made some edits and made it really kind of me. And my wife even agreed. She's like, "Yeah, that's you. You're ornery, and can't get that cowboy out of you." She said. So, we to this day, you'll love to hear this, but that's the very first song we kick our show off with. Every show, that's one of our bookend songs.
Now I understand why I like it so much. I really do. You're right here at Galaxy, joining us today with C.J Garton. Here's Of the Devil for 2 Roses. I've been an engineer for about 40-something years, not only front of house but also studio, and got an ear for this sort of thing, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, my friend, I absolutely do love that track.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we made that. That was on that first record too. We had some really good stuff on that album. I worked with Kent Wells at the time, and that was back before I actually was on Dolly's label. I got to go out and do some touring and meet Dolly and spend time with them, and Kent produced Dolly, and it was crazy because I started getting songs cut at that time by people who I grew up being a little bitty squirt. I probably wasn't no bigger than 4 or 5 years old, and I was listening to songs, David Allan Coe and Tanya Tucker and Ronnie McDowell and Brooks and Dunn, and next thing you know, I got cuts from all these people and people, sitting in the studio with them and them singing our songs. So it was like a dream come true. But when you're in a moment like that, it's very euphoric, so it doesn't feel real, and so it's like a feather in a cap kind of thing. But I don't know if it really absorbs and hits you at any point or not. But so the fact that our songs have made it all the way across this far, and you guys have been playing that long, man, it really hits me, because that stuff is comes from an honest place, and it comes from a lot of hard work, so that means a lot to me.
Sir, we are big fans, and I've got to say, welcome to the family too, by the way. How many countries are tuned in right now? 168 countries. Not bad. Not bad.
Wow, that's awesome. Well, hello everybody. When it comes back live.
How many cities are tuned in?
6928.
Okay, 6,928 cities around the world are tuned in right now.
That's amazing. Well, that sounds like that they got a great representation of what you guys do, and you do a hell of a job.
Oh, you're a star.
You can threaten me. I tell you every single time, man. I'm country and a cow pissing on a flat rock, so I like good old country folk.
I'm sorry, bro. I can't actually hear you right now. I'm on.
What?
Yeah, I've used an excuse like that myself, kinda. Hello, yeah, believe me, well, I don't know where that woman came from. I went...
Yeah, I heard you say that. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, believe me, I have actually used that excuse, kind of. Literally, I got caught one night with a girlfriend, came home and tried to get into bed, but there was somebody else in there, and I went, well, I don't know. Is she yours?
Well, I had no idea.
Yeah.
I guess I just crawled in bed and thought it was you.
Yeah, well, this is true. It really is. It was the fact, though, that she was a twin, and I had no idea.
Really?
Yeah.
That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
That's completely it, and believe me, it's the truth. It really was.
It worked. How'd it work out? Did it work out okay?
Well, she made a good bed warmer anyway.
That's right. Well, I didn't know you dated the Double Mint twins, man. That's pretty awesome.
Well, in the dark.
Yeah, I'll never forget when you were singing that track. It didn't take me very long. I just blasted through that track maybe twice, and I said that at the end because I'm kind of rowdy and ornery. I've known to hold a Crown Royal bottle or something in my hand every now and then, and or CC and Coke as you guys would do out that way, and I said that and. My producer was sitting in the chair at the time, and he literally fell out of the chair, just rolling. He came back up and was just like red in the face, dying laughing. He's like, "Man," he's like, "that's staying right there." He goes, "I'm not moving it a single bit," and it did. It made the track, and I say it live every show, and my wife just looks at me like, "Oh Lord."
Yeah, I'm getting that look too. Right now.
It happens. Hey, you know what? Yeah, you can't change us. We honor you like that.
I get it. I really, really do. Tracy from Alabama is asking, CJ, as a fan, how do I get hold of you? Are you on Facebook? Are you on Twitter? X? Are you a talker? But more importantly, CJ, do you respond?
Yeah, absolutely. The best way to reach us is to go on Spotify, go on Facebook. If you do reach out to us, it may take a little bit of time because we have a large following social media, and I have social media people that help me. But I am the one who gets back to you. When you get the auto response, hey, thanks for messaging us, or Noah, my admin will get on there, or Sue or somebody, and they'll give you responses. But they always share that information with me. Then at the end of the week or two, when I get off the road, I sit down and I reply to everybody, and I try to communicate with them because there's a lot of folks that want to just reach out, but there's also a lot of folks that my music has really meant something to them or has helped them through a hard time, and I want to be somebody who's not just music. I want to be somebody that's real to them. I want to be somebody that's a friend, and if it means enough for you guys to reach out, it means enough for me to respond.
Love it. Absolutely do. Now, Marshall coming out of Dallas, Texas is saying, hey, CJ, how do I buy some merch? Have you got a cap, a koozie, and a t-shirt that I can get on a website and pick up?
Absolutely. Yes, you can. And I encourage that. It helps us put gas in the tank and beer in the fridge.
There you go.
And, go to CJ Garton, GARTON.com. And you can order there, and if you want to do something, some sort of special order or something like that, you can also reach out on Facebook or Instagram, send me a message, and tell us what you want, your sizes, and we'll get you guys set up that way, and you can pay PayPal or Cash App.
Very cool. Now, one more, Nathan coming out of Washington State saying, hey, listen, we're coming into the best parts of summer very, very shortly. Are you coming our way? Are you going to do a tour?
I actually just got off a run. We took off in November, right before Thanksgiving, and we literally just took a break. I was off last week. I got to go morel mushroom hunting with my buddy, and we hit Washington every year. When we do, it's generally around August. I might even sneak up there in June because they have a great mushroom hunting season out there. And I have friends in Natchez and over at Cle Elum, and I'll generally go out there and do some sort of private big concert. So I would love to set something up. Please let me know. Find me on my socials, and I guarantee you we'll be out in Washington this year again. I'd say June, August, I'd look for us.
Love that. Love that. Literally. Now, really? It ain't her horse?
No, I ain't her horse. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, we wrote that, some buddies of mine, man. We had a great time. I was actually in the studio with John Anderson. And we had me, John Anderson, Will Nance, Brian White, and another buddy of mine. And it was a co-writing session that I had scheduled, but I also had to do something for the Super Bowl with John Anderson. And we were recording that stuff before the Super Bowl kicked off, like it usually does. And we were raising money for dogs and foundation of the program for pets to make their lives a better situation and make sure they have great homes and places that they can go and rescued. And so when we did that, me and Will and them got start talking after we were playing our hit songs that we'd written, and they said, "Man, why don't we write?" And I said, "Okay." So that next week we got together, and Ain't Her Horse came out of it.
There you go. That explains it. You're right here at Galaxy. Here's Ain't Her Horse. So tell me, bro, do you have the SPCA over there?
The what? What? CA?
SPCA, the
What is it?
Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals.
We have something, I don't think it's called the same thing, but yeah, we have certain programs like that and stuff. And I work a lot with animals, kids, and veterans. I mean, that's kind of like my three things that I hit home with me.
The reason why I asked this, CJ, is that this morning in the news here in New Zealand, I see our SPCA is having an argument with our government about round bales of hay.
What?
Yeah, they don't think the animals are getting a square meal.
Oh, you guy, you. That's funny. Well, hey, did you hear about that guy who dipped his balls in glitter?
Yeah,
Pretty
it's-
nuts, huh?
Yeah, it is pretty nuts. By any chance, you're not a vegan, are you?
No, I grew up on a cattle ranch. If I was a vegan, I'd probably get disowned.
The thing is this, you see, for years now, I've been doing this for 14 years, working for this company, and we're trying to come to the bottom of a myth, literally. Have you ever tried a vegan sausage?
Man, I don't even know how to respond to that.
Obviously, no. Yeah, look, you see, we're trying to figure out if they're made of real vegans or not.
I don't know. I'm guessing they are. I mean, what else would you do as a vegan?
Exactly. This is my point
I mean,
of view.
Are we off air right now?
We are.
No, but
she's
we're
Oh
still-
still,
yeah, I'll tell
but
you
she's
something,
still
my buddy.
filming.
I'm still
I
recording.
tell you, there's funny things about that. My buddies always tell me. He's a bass player. He played for my dad, and he played for my grandpa.
Okay.
So he is just a dirty old man and musician, and he's funnier than all get out. Every time you're sitting in the car with him, he's got a joke in between every hit of his joint that he hits. And he's like, man, what's the best way? He goes, CJ, what's the best way to eat vegetables? I said, I don't know. He says, I don't know either. He said, but it's hard as hell to get him out of that wheelchair.
Yeah, well,
Oh, there you
it's
go.
harder to get the wheelchair in the oven. I got a story for you about that joke. Hold on. That's right. You're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. CJ, I said that same joke to a 14-year-old girl, a lady, about 10 years ago, right? And I caught up last year with her, did an interview with her, and she goes, I still remember the wheelchair joke. And I went, wheelchair joke? What? I had a wheelchair joke? And Barbara's going, oh, I think you did somewhere along the way. Everybody else is nodding away going, yeah, you had a wheelchair joke. I couldn't remember it, right? Anyway, the next day I was interviewing a band that was travelling around. One of the guys was a driver for the handicapped, let's put it that way, right?
Yeah.
Lovely guy, absolutely lovely guy. And we were talking away and everything like that, and all of a sudden he says, you know, have you got a good joke? And I says, oh, yeah, I got a good joke, I suppose, you know. And Barbara says, do you remember the wheelchair joke? And I went, yeah, I do, about the one, you know, putting the wheelchairs in the oven. And he's just looking at me. Right, yeah, Barbara set me up brilliantly with that
She
one.
did. But you know what, though? It's funny because, I mean, this stuff is, you know, some of it's risque or some of it's, you know, people get nervous about. But the reality is I remember television stuff, humor really had no, boundaries. It was funny. It was funny. You're not out to hurt anybody's feelings. And, it's just a joke. I mean, stand-up comedians get away with a lot more because you're going to show up and you never know what the joke's going to be about. But, life is a very serious thing. And it doesn't have to be. We as people should be lighthearted. We should, as long as we're being good to each other and taking care of each other, a good joke every now and then isn't a bad thing. So it's even funnier when someone's going to set you up.
Exactly. This was a day after day kind of thing. I'd caught up with our very good friend and had an interview with her, and she said this. And of course, I had to throw in the round bales of hay right back at her after that one, to be honest with you. But then the next day, I'm talking to this band, loving the interview, and Barbara throws this, do you remember the wheelchair joke? And yeah, I remember that. And I spat it back at her, but this guy's still there, looking at me. And it was like, thanks. Thank you very much. I needed that.
Yeah, you can't take yourself too serious. You got to laugh, enjoy life. I mean, the secret to life, I think, is each other. I mean, it's nothing. It's not some grand design to like try to figure out. I think that we're all put down here and we get a short amount of time to live it. So let's live it and live it well and laugh together and share those times and make those memories.
Absolutely. I believe in smile, strong style. There you go. Think of that. Highway we call home. Which highway is it?
Man, there's a lot of them. I don't think there's one, but you would be interested to know that my hometown is on Route 66, one of the most famous highways in the country. And Route 66, before the interstates all came about, before we kind of got modernized, was the national highway that could take you all the way from the East Coast to the West Coast. And that was known for being a hub. And if you were lucky to be a town on that hub, you were thriving. You generally had oil booms. You generally had a lot of traffic, a lot of travelers. And when the highway came into town and the interstate took over, you lost a lot of that. And a lot of those towns kind of went to the wayside. And so, Bristow, Oklahoma, and Depew is one of my hometowns where I grew up at on a cattle ranch out there. But that little town, it's not a lot there, but it still means a lot to me,
Very cool.
So
very, very cool. And believe me, I am familiar with 66. I really am. Ridden a bike down through it. Way back in
really?
the day.
Yeah.
I did. Way
That's
back
awesome.
in the day. So joining us live is C.J Garton. Here's Highway we call home. Here at Galaxy. Yeah, I did the Fonda thing.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, it's cool. I bet you if you went through Oklahoma, you found some potholes.
Oh, just some?
Just a few.
Yeah,
it's so
we had
funny.
square wheels by the time we got to the next city.
I tell you what, it's the funniest thing because it's like every state that I go to that has some sort of highway program that charges you tolls, they have the worst roads.
Yeah, they do. They really,
I don't
really
understand.
do.
I'm like, they're just raking that money in, and I mean, I pay every time I go to Oklahoma, and now they bill me. They used to, you have to stop, put your quarters in, your dollars in, and you couldn't take a trip without spending $10. And I'm sitting there thinking, what I think in food. When I think of money, I don't think of like, oh, that's $100 bill. I think that's like 3 steaks,
Mm-hmm.
And so I think of steaks every time. And so it's like, man, all the things I could be eating right now, instead I'm just paying to drive on this road that isn't exactly that great condition.
Hey, when we get potholes around here, we put a little fence around it and charge people to go swimming.
That's all right. I got my bathing suit.
Cool. You don't want to see mine.
No.
I was given a mankini.
Oh no! As long as it's the same as your birthday suit, we're probably okay.
Oh no, it's a different color. It is a different color.
Mine's that kangaroo behind you. I wear that like a loincloth.
Oh, okay. Well, I've got a friend of mine that can turn it into a Tarzan sort of one of those loincloth things.
Yeah. Oh,
And believe me, he goes by the name Tarzan too.
That's awesome.
Thank you. Guys in the sound room are playing with me. Really. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Let me get this right now. We've come to what I call the end of the music because we've only got one more to go, really. But you said, I get the impression you're a very prolific kind of guy. So what I'm going to ask you is, got anything in the can right now? Have you got anything new? Can we continue this relationship on?
Yes. The answer to the first statement is I do have a lot. I would call it more of a barrel than I would a can because we've been sitting on tons and tons of songs, and I write every day because I see life happen. And it's so funny because what's really gained success as me as a writer and hit writer, that a lot of people didn't know about that. I started singing like old Randy Travis cover songs and some Keith Whitley stuff and some stuff that, people aren't around, Merle Haggard, and it just blew up, went viral, and people were like, oh man, I'd love to hear some originals. And we have that available. Maybe next beer just came out. Please, guys, go to Spotify. I know that streaming is kind of the devil in the music world, but the thing is, though, is when you guys get on there and you all go to one place and you stream together and you share and you just wear us out, it lets the world know that we're trending, and it gives me greater opportunities to continue doing what I love, and I can't thank y'all enough for that because y'all have been blowing us up. And I've got 4 new albums coming out, and we're dropping songs every 3 weeks because we want to make sure and keep giving you guys content. We want to keep giving you guys new music so y'all stay entertained. And I cannot wait to get over and perform some of these songs live for y'all. But just look up C.J. Garton, Garton, and please reach out. I've never met a stranger. We're not going to start today.
My friend, when you bring these out, send them to us. We'll add them in. Believe me, we'd love for you to come back and have another interview. In the meantime, long story short, and believe me, I relate to this so much, and I mean so much, literally, that I've actually added it to my playlist in my car. I love this track. Tell me all about it.
Oh man, I appreciate that. I love it. We've all had breakups and stuff like that. I fortunately, have been married now with my wife for quite a few years, but there's always been these moments where you meet somebody and it's so great for a little while, and then you realize the truth starts to come out that this probably isn't going to work out. And I think that's what that relationship is for this. It's one of those kind of things that, you meet somebody and you think, man, this is good and all, and, you get cozy, but you don't want to break it up, but you realize that she's trying to change you. And, to be with somebody that loves each other, you don't want to change these people. You want to love them for who they are. And this song is exactly that. This guy loves hunting. He loves fishing. He loves football. He loves drinking a beer, just like me. And, you can't tell me that camo ain't a color because we ain't going to get along. And that's pretty much what this is all about, Yada, 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 long story short.
I absolutely can relate to that. I really can. Joining us live this morning, C.J Garton, long story short, yada, yada, yada. Do you want to know something funny, my friend?
Yes.
A number of years ago, my daughter brought home her new boyfriend. And sitting around, we're having a chat, and she turned around and she says, I could do with a lemonade. And the guy says, oh, okay. She goes, well, you want to go down the shop and go and get me a lemonade? So he up and away he goes, right? And I looked at her and I went, whoa, have you got this boy trained or what? And she just smiled and went, yeah, okay. About an hour later, my wife came on and she goes, you know, I need some bread. Can you hop down the shop and grab me some bread? And I got up, I was in the car when I went, holy shit.
Well, does your daughter still have that boyfriend?
No.
Well, you can't say he didn't try.
This is true. This is true. But
Yeah.
just the realization, who's training who here, what, when?
Well, I found out another alternative though. You know, my wife's like, I need, some bread or I need some milk from the store. I'm like, awesome. Here's some money. She's happy to go. I'm like, here's a couple $100. Go have fun. With that.
No.
But yeah, and it's funny because you guys, I haven't mentioned this, and I'd love to, but my wife plays 7-string fiddle and tours with me and sings her absolute butt off. So she's been, raising kids and a husband for, probably the last 15 years. So I would love for you guys to get wind of her music also, and I'll get Caden to share some stuff with you guys. And I produced her record and wrote it.
Please, do that.
Send it
Do
straight.
that, do that.
Send it straight to me, please.
Yes, send it. Barbara will give you Gemma's details to be able to send it straight to Barbara, okay? Don't worry
Awesome,
about
that'd
Caden.
be great.
Don't worry about Caden.
Okay.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. And today we're talking to C.J Garton coming out of, well, one of the best Nashville sounds I've heard in a long time. It really, really is. And it's such a nice pleasure to have C.J here joining us. Now, C.J, would you come back again? Would you have another interview with us?
I would be honored to, absolutely.
It's been so long since I've started playing your music. It actually feels like I know you, to be very, very honest with you. And I would love to be able to continue our relationship on from here. I really, really would. So I'm looking forward to new music and more interviews in the future. Believe me, it's such a pleasure
And his wife.
to have you on board. Now, as far as your wife goes, please send it to Barbara. Don't worry about Caden. Go straight to the horse's mouth. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Well, thank you so much. She's a phenomenally talented woman, and the hardest part is her putting up with me, I'm sure. But, it's funny, if I have to, produce and make a decision, just because you love somebody, are they talented? Do they have the opportunity? Well, and I can proudly say that my wife does. She's actually a professional instrumentalist as well. She plays 7-string fiddle, plays piano, can play guitar. So she plays more instruments than I do. I do all the writing and production and stuff. And so we wrote this record, and then Trickle releasing this record of hers. And it's so cool because I personally think that she sounds like a blend of Stevie Nicks meets the Dixie Chicks.
Wow.
I'm interested. Very, very interested. But you see, I don't count. Barbara is the boss, and whatever.
Well, that's all good.
Whatever it's got to get past Barbara. Then it's got to go to a board, through production. Then I get to play it myself. You know what I mean? So believe me, I'm very, very interested, and would love to be able to continue the relationships that we have now started to form. Having said that, please don't go anywhere, because I do want to talk to you about promoting you a little bit more than what we can here, in a number of ways too, by the way. One, being a magazine. Two, we're actually building radio stations in the new country very, very shortly that is just hungry for music. It really, really is. And three, we may be able to get you on some stages over there performing. So we'll talk about that if that interests you. In the meantime, from everybody here at Galaxy, thank you for joining us today with C.J Garton, and it's been such a pleasure having you guys on board. Now, why not join myself and Barbara tomorrow morning after 5 a.m. all the way through until about 10 for the breakfast show. Guaranteed 110% indie artists, 150% the best in the world. We don't play anything less, really. Join us then. So, from me it is, happy radio, everyone.
That's awesome. Cheers, everybody.